The power of kindness. One rainy evening, a kind-hearted girl named Anaya was returning home from school. The sky was covered with dark clouds, and the streets were almost empty. As she walked down a narrow road, she heard a faint sound coming from a corner near a small shop. Woof woof! Anaya stopped and looked around. Near a broken cardboard box, she saw a small puppy shivering in the cold rain. The poor puppy looked hungry, weak, and frightened. Anaya felt sorry for it. "Oh no, you must be so cold," she said softly. She took off her scarf and gently wrapped it around the puppy. Then she carried it home in her arms. When she reached home, her mother was surprised. "Anaya, where did you find this puppy?" she asked. "I found him alone in the rain, Mom. Can we help him?" Her mother smiled and said, "Of course. Kindness is always the right choice." They gave the puppy warm milk and some food. After eating, the little puppy finally felt safe. It curled up on a blanket and fell asleep peacefully. The next morning, Anaya took the puppy to a veterinarian. The doctor checked him carefully and said, "He's healthy, but he needs love and care." Anaya happily decided to keep the puppy and named him Lucky. Days turned into weeks. Lucky grew stronger and healthier every day. He loved playing with Anaya. Every morning, he waited for her at the door before school. Every afternoon, he ran to greet her when she returned home. Soon, Lucky became Anaya's best friend. One day, while walking to school, Anaya noticed an old woman struggling to carry heavy bags. Without thinking twice, Anaya rushed over. "Let me help you," she said. The old woman smiled gratefully. "Thank you, dear. You're very kind." Anaya carried the bags all the way to the woman's house. Another day, she helped a classmate who was having trouble with homework. On another occasion, she shared her lunch with a girl who had forgotten hers. She simply believed that helping others was the right thing to do. Months passed. One evening, Anaya stayed late at school because she was practicing for a competition. By the time she left, the sun had already set. The streets were quiet. The wind was blowing gently. As she walked home, she noticed that someone seemed to be following her. At first, she ignored it. But after a few minutes, she heard footsteps behind her again. Tap, tap, tap. Her heart began to race. She walked faster. The footsteps became faster too. Now, she was scared. She looked back and saw a man walking behind her. The man wasn't saying anything, but he continued following her. Anaya felt nervous. There was nobody else on the road. The houses nearby had their doors closed. She didn't know what to do. Suddenly, she heard a familiar bark. Woof, woof, woof! It was Lucky. The brave dog came running toward her at full speed. Lucky stood between Anaya and the man. He barked loudly and fearlessly. Woof, woof, woof! The man looked frightened. Seeing the protective dog, he quickly turned around and left. Anaya felt relieved. She knelt down and hugged Lucky tightly. "Thank you, Lucky. You saved me." Lucky wagged his tail happily. That night, Anaya realized something important. The kindness she had shown to a helpless puppy had returned to her when she needed help the most. But the story didn't end there. A few weeks later, a terrible storm hit the town. Heavy rain flooded many streets. Some families lost power. Many people were stuck inside their homes. Anaya and her family decided to help. They prepared food and distributed it to neighbors. Lucky accompanied them everywhere. Together, they helped elderly people, delivered supplies, and checked on families who needed assistance. One evening during the storm, a young child became separated from his parents. Everyone started searching for him. Hours passed, but nobody could find the child. Then Lucky suddenly started barking. He ran toward a small shed near a field. People followed him. Inside the shed, they found the missing child safe and unharmed. The parents were overjoyed. They thanked Anaya and Lucky with tears in their eyes. News of Lucky's bravery spread throughout the town. People began calling him the hero dog. The mayor even gave Lucky a special medal for helping the community. During the ceremony, the mayor said, "This dog is a hero, but we must also remember the person who first showed him kindness." Without Anaya's compassion, Lucky might never have had a chance. Everyone applauded. Anaya smiled shyly. She wasn't looking for praise. She was simply happy that she had been able to help. Years later, People still remember the story of Anaya and Lucky. Parents told their children about the girl who helped a lonely puppy. Teachers shared the story in classrooms, and everyone learned the same lesson. A small act of kindness can create a chain of goodness that changes many lives. You may never know how your kindness will return to you. Sometimes it comes back as friendship. Sometimes it comes back as support. Sometimes it comes back when you need it most. But one thing is certain, kindness never goes to waste. Moral: be kind whenever possible. Every act of kindness creates a better world.